So speaking of success, these are the keys to success with this process overall, right? These are observations that I've had over years of teaching this and years of working with startups. And I hate to say, but my own successes and failures in startups of my own. Okay, first and foremost, avoid building a product or business that satisfies only the founders, right? I'm sure we have engineers on the call or people with technical abilities. Your first instinct is to build something really, really cool. And I appreciate that. Something that excites you, the assumption is will excite others. That's not always true. You can excite your market by doing things that may not be that exciting to you. You might find that you're satisfying them with something that you would have never guessed or dreamed of, right? And you might be solving problems that the market has that you never had yourself, right? Very simple example, when digital cellular phones first came out, I know because I was working at Motorola at the time as a director, we had problems with cell phones coming back because they were too quiet. And you could say, what does too quiet mean? People are used to, at least with analog phones, they were used to having a background noise. And in that absence, they assumed that the new phones were broken. So we wound up having to put in, believe it or not, artificial noise into the handsets and into the system to comfort the users. And we called it comfort noise. It was digitally created, digitally enhanced. It was all artificial, of course, but if it helped us sell phones, we did it, right? And I'm pretty sure they even protected that and patented comfort noise at Motorola. All right, from there, we avoided selling, right? So you do not want to be selling as much as you want to be problem solving and doing research, at least at the beginning, okay? Don't get caught up with your own ideas so much that you wind up pushing it on others. You want to understand what is their receptiveness to those ideas, right? And the more you sell, the more you pollute the experiment, okay? So think of this, approach this please as an experiment, as a researcher, right? You want to deeply engage with those customers with an open mind, carefully listening to what they say and what is really meant. And by that, I mean, look at what they do, right? When we would run focus groups at some of the companies I worked at, very little talking, mostly observing. Put your new product idea right next to your competition, see where your customers go and what they engage with. So observation, engagement, right? And then dialogue to say, okay, we watched you do this, we watched you do that, tell us why you did it, right? From there, nurturing strong relationships, really understanding their needs and the value that you can bring, and maybe it's only you that can bring them this value, right? That's the gold in this process. That's what you're trying to get to. Understand the size, growth, and needs of the market as a whole, right? What are the needs versus their desires versus quote unquote table stakes? And what do I mean by table stakes? These are kind of unwritten expectations that people have of products in that category that are unstated, but they're basically a given. In other words, it's the state of the art, right? So we're going to talk a lot about electric vehicles, right? Today in 2017, it's almost 2018. Electric vehicle range is now measured in hundreds of miles, not dozens of miles. So table stakes has changed so dramatically that if you've got an electric vehicle that only goes 60 or 70 miles, in late 2017, 2018, you're effectively obsolete, okay? So that's what I mean by table stakes. Watch behaviors more than listening to words. You will need strong analytic skills and a fast clock speed, right? So in other words, the ability to react quickly, to jump on issues as they occur, and to move quickly as the market moves.